Hello and welcome to Horror Monster Collectibles, where today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Iron Studios Deluxe Art Scale, which is 1/10 scale, Skeletor on the throne. Now this is about $300 and the size of them is about 11.5 inches tall by about 8 inches wide and somewhere about 9 inches deep. I've been waiting for this for a while. As many of you guys know, Iron Studios has pretty much done the whole line of Masters of the Universe characters, but Skeletor is always my focus, so I've been really kind of waiting this guy out, and I'm super stoked that he's here. So let's go ahead and spin this around and take a closer look. Alright guys, so real quick, this is just the box contents. So we have Skeletor here, we have his Havoc staff, we have the base of the throne, and then we have the throne chair, and that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and take a look at this stuff in detail as we put it together. First up, we have the base itself. Here is the bottom of the base, and then we have the keyed slot for the chair, and I will go over all the little details in this guy once we get the chair on here, but I just wanted to kind of show you it up close as it is. And so here we have the throne chair installed, and it looks absolutely amazing. I love the sculpt work on here. Just all the details of the bones used and all of the rope tying the bones together. It looks fantastic. There is good shading on the bones. There's lots of different colors used throughout here, although some of it may be blown out on the camera. In real life, it looks fantastic. Look at the base itself. But it's just super cool to see all these spears coming up through here. It's pretty badass. So let's get old Skeletor on there. All right, so here is Skeletor sitting on the throne. Now we need to install his Havoc staff, which is actually comes in two separate pieces. So we have the staff, and then this is a little insert on the bottom here, and I believe that that's done just to get it through his hand, and then we stick that on the bottom after we've put it through there. I haven't done that yet, so let's go ahead and get that going right now. All right, so I have the Havoc staff installed. It was kind of a pain in the butt, though, I'm gonna be honest. The hand here, the fitment on here, the way it is sculpted really kind of kicks the Havoc staff back too far, and it's actually into his knee. So when, at least on mine, so when I was inserting it, I really had to like pull forward on the Havoc staff to get clearance from the knee to be able to get down through there. So I was really putting a bind on his hand here, and I was worried that it was going to break. It did not, but it was not easy to get down through there. It would have been nice if they had improved the angle on here so that it wasn't just pressed up against his knee like that. Again, there is no clearance there, as you can see. And honestly, it would be into his knee had the knee, you know, just not pushed it out like that. It really wants to be in at a further angle. But anyway, it's on there and it didn't break, so I guess that's a good thing. Let's look at Skeletor himself. The sculpt is badass. He seems like he's contemplating his next evil scheme. And I really like the sculpt work on here and stuff. He looks badass. He's got the classic Skeletor look. He's got nice weathering on his boots. And I really prefer this look over the stylized versions that we sometimes get. But he looks just badass, honestly. I'm digging him. Alright guys, so that's about all there is to go over on this. And while this is on the pricier side at $300, it is quite a bit more expensive than their typical art scale stuff, which I feel is, you know, just a little bit over the $200 range. I could be off on that, but I feel like, you know, I got Dracula and stuff, and I feel like he was just like, you know, 220 or something. I could be wrong, but it was in like the low 200s. So at 300, it's a bit higher, but you do get this awesome throne. It has a lot of presence, even though it is just a 10 scale statue. Again, it's, you know, nearly 12 inches tall, so it looks badass. And you guys know I am a sucker for all things Skeletor. I'm a huge fan of the cartoon. Like, I grew up in the 80s, so you know, this kind of stuff is made for me. I would have been blown away to have this as a kid. I can only imagine like how much I would have loved this. You know, like the 12-year-old me would just be beside himself with something like this. The only real problem I had is the Havoc staff. Maybe you guys won't have that problem, but for me it was an issue. And again, I was worried about breaking stuff, but I did not. So I guess in all it's okay, but you know, ideally it would not be designed that way. There would be more relief between his knee and the staff, so it's easier to assemble. But really that's my only nitpick here. Overall, again, it looks badass, and he, you know, he looks like he's, you know, again, just contemplating his next scheme, his evil scheme to take over Castle Grayskull. But yeah, he's badass. He's really freaking cool. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of like just taking it all in, you know, while I talk about it. So hopefully you guys love Masters of the Universe as much as I do. Again, I'm a huge fan of Skeletor and stuff like that. And I really like what Iron Studios has been putting out over the past few years. It really seems as of, you know, the past year or two, like they really, you know, stepped up their game as far as sculpt wise and stuff. I mean, like the fifth scale stuff they've been doing with like Mer-Man and stuff has just been absolutely crazy. And you know, it seems like they are kind of reinventing these old Universal monsters as well. I really like what they've been doing. They seem to be on top of their game. And again, I used to really not like the 10 scale stuff, but you know, as I run out of space, I start to appreciate it more. And with the details and stuff that they put in these pieces, I really start to appreciate it more. So I've kind of come around over the past couple years, but yeah, I like what they're doing, and I definitely recommend this piece. So as always, feel free to leave any questions or comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. And until next time, I will see you guys later. And I will leave you with a video 360 view of good old Skeletor on his throne.